Hey, so the other day I was talking to my friend and she's about to start her first year of uni and she wanted some like little tips and pieces of advice. And I started doing them and then I thought like, well, seeing as I'm the only person who's ever been to uni ever, like didn't know if you guys knew that about me, first person to ever go to uni in the history of their life, like you guys are obviously the next people to go. And I thought I'd make a video about it because like she knows that I make videos and she was kind of saying like, this is good advice, like why don't you make a video? And I was like, we all know I respond very well to like positive encouragement, so I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll make a video about it. So that's what I'm doing. I want to focus more on like kind of the social aspect and settling in, because like I feel like I've got more to say about that, and like the rest of my advice could probably go into other videos. My sister Rebecca, don't know if you remember her, sister tag, bring her up in like every video. Yeah, she's planning to make a video that's like how to save money at uni, and I, to be honest, trust her advice because the food that it sounds like she makes at uni just sounds so good. So it's like if she's got enough money to be buying like smoked salmon and that sort of thing, like she knows what she's talking about. So that might be coming up. We're gonna have to sort it out among each other. But yeah, so as I said, like this will focus more on kind of settling in and like freshers kind of advice. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. So just before I start giving out advice, like I'm like amazing at making friends, oh my god, like I get on with everyone I meet sort of thing. I feel like a lot of my success at uni was just down to being put with like the most amazing people ever, like just by chance. Like all of my flatmates, like they're just like, I know I would say this, but they're just such lovely people. I said ages ago, I can't remember who I said it to, but sometimes it literally feels like it's my life's a TV show and they're just like the nicest people they could find in the world, and I'm just like the mole that's came in to destroy everything. So yeah, take everything I say with a pinch of salt, because I just so happen to be put with the biggest skinny legends in all of West Yorkshire. So my first piece of advice would be try to find your flatmates before you go. There'll probably be a Facebook group that's like something like uni of like this uni freshers 2017, and then your accommodation you're going to. So try and find them, like join that group and stuff. But like if you can't find them, it's not really the end of the world. Like I didn't find any of my flatmates and I got on fine. I think other people I know like found a few of them. It does help because it's not so like terrifying when you like pull up into the accommodation and like you literally could just be put with like 10 boys who play rugby all day and like all they do is drink lager, or you could be put with like 10 other girls with bright blue hair that like are also doing sociology. It takes away a bit of the initial kind of fear, but like it's not the end of the world if you don't find them, and like it only helps for those like kind of first 10 seconds. Second piece of advice, right, can't stress this enough, people will shake your hand and it's very awkward, so like prepare for that. Like just, I went in like being like, oh well, we're not like adults, we're not going to shake hands, and then it's like, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Craig, and they put their hand out and it's like, oh my god, like this feels very grown up, like can't we just hug or something? But no, yeah, so people will shake your hand. My third piece of advice would be make sure you've got 2 plates, 2 bowls, like maybe 3 sets of cutlery, like 2 side plates and everything like that. Like basically just everything you're buying in terms of like, what would you call it, like crockery? Yeah, crockery I guess. Like anything you're buying in terms of that you should really have 2 of, because if you have guests to stay, then like what are you going to do? It's just going to be a little bit more difficult, and also like sometimes you do end up like cooking for friends and stuff, so just make sure you have 2 of everything basically. I don't know what number I'm on now, but make sure you go to the freshers fair that your uni will hold. How have I not mentioned this yet? I go to the University of Leeds, so ours are quite big and ours have a lot of like wider businesses in. I don't know if it's the same like everywhere you go. I know a few friends like don't have quite as much as we get, but like if anything you get like free Dominoes, which is like a big bonus. You get like lots of like vouchers and stuff like that. They can get a bit crowded, but like it's definitely worth checking out because you'll get a lot of coupons and stuff like that, and it's just like, it's nice to have a better idea of what kind of small local businesses your city might have and that sort of thing. And like they advertise themselves at freshers fairs, so like yeah, go to your freshers fair. Next piece of advice, I would say everyone should be in at least one society. Like, maybe if your course has one, then maybe like that as well, but like something kind of not to do with your course as well, because like they hold a lot of socials. It's a good way of like meeting new people, and like sometimes it's just nice to be like talking to people about something that's not to do with your course, if that makes sense. And like if you don't get on with your flatmates, then like you won't really get a chance to do that all that much unless you get really, really close with people on your course. So it's worth just like joining one or two other societies. I was a member of, I think, can't remember if it was 2 or 3. It's just nice to have a bigger like social circle kind of thing. So, and also it's good to join societies because you can put that on your CV and like your employers will see it and they'll be like, oh, you were in such and such of a society. You can kind of play it up a little bit and just be like, oh yes, no, I was very involved in this society, I did this, I did this, I did this, and like really like all you really did was go to socials. Like it's a good thing to put down. The next one comes more towards with like how to get on with people. And I know this is what like your parents have been telling you for years, and like it's such a cliche and it's so like overplayed, but literally just be yourself. Like people will like you a lot more if you're just yourself than if you put on some weird act and come in like, hey fellas, it's me, Wolfie, and I'm somewhat of a loose cannon. I like to smoke weed all day. I'm from the mean streets of London. I can drink an entire bottle of Jack Daniels. Oh, like I sleep with women all the time. I sleep with like I've slept with over 1,000 women. Like if you go in like that and then it turns out that you're just like, I don't know, like James from like Milton Keynes or somewhere, and you've only smoked weed once in Amsterdam, and like you whiteyed after half a joint, and like you're a virgin, and like you get smashed off 3 tins of dark fruits. Like people are gonna like you a whole lot less than if you just came in and said like, oh hi guys, nice to meet you, it's James, like I'm from Milton Keynes, and like you're just friendly towards them. Like you don't need to put on like a kind of persona, and a lot of people do that when they move to uni. I guarantee you'll meet at least one person that will be like that, and it's just so unnecessary. Like no one's gonna judge you for any of those things, for like being a virgin or like not drinking all that much or like doing things like that all the time. Like we're 19, well no, you're like 18, 19, you're kind of like older than that now. It's not just like high school where you need to pretend to be someone else to fit in, basically. That being said, and I know loads of people are going to jump down my throat for being hypocritical, but don't be judgmental of other people and you'll get along with them a lot better. Literally, the best way to make friends at uni is to just literally give everyone a chance, especially your flatmates, because you're going to be living with them. Going to uni is going to introduce you to a lot of like very different people that you're probably not used to seeing in your school and stuff like that. And like you'll realise after time you're not really that different, and like I'm not talking about big differences like political views and that sort of thing, and like if they're views that affect like other people and like how other people are living, then that's a bit different. But I'm just talking about like if like I don't know, like you do a really intense subject like biochemical engineering, I don't even know if that's a thing, and your flatmate does like fashion journalism, like just don't look down on her for doing fashion journalism. Like you're both very smart people, like you've both gotten into uni, there's just no need to judge other people. There's more of a chance of you getting on with your flatmates if you just like don't let the judgments you've made on them in Freshers Week stick. Like it's basically just as simple as that. Also, this is going to sound like very easy for me to say because I'm a very extroverted person and I like being around other people, so I don't think more introverted people are going to like me saying this, but you do have to make a bit more of an effort with other people in the first few weeks. No one will think it's weird if you're sat with your flatmates and you like ask them questions or something like that. It's not weird if you just like sit in the kitchen on your laptop and like look at like, well, maybe don't look at this video because like they'll peer over and they'll be like, oh, like why are you watching like How to Get On With Your Friends at Freshers? Like maybe don't be watching my like, show them my video. No, I'm joking. If you're just sat in the kitchen like on your laptop, maybe like doing some online shopping or like doing some on Twitter or like doing some work or something, they're not going to think it's weird. Even if you're just cooking or something, they're just not going to like, they're not going to be like, oh my god, why are you sat in the kitchen? Like, it's freshers, like, you need to get to know other people and you need to spend time around other people, otherwise you're just going to be miserable. Sometimes it will have to be you that makes like the effort and like is the person that posts the message in the flat group chat, which, oh yeah, make a flat group chat. No, but like, no, sometimes it will have to be you that makes the effort and puts in the flat group chat like, oh hey guys, I'm going to Sainsbury's, like does anyone want to come or does anyone want anything? Or like, oh hey, like I saw, like, linked to Freshers event, I saw this is on tonight, is anyone interested in coming with me? Like, I don't think people that aren't already very kind of like judgmental and like difficult to be around and like you wouldn't want to be friends with anyway, don't think people like that are going to think like, oh that's so weird, like oh my god, why is she wanting to get on with me, oh my god, that sort of thing. Like they'll appreciate that you're making the effort as well. It'll help you out a lot more than just sort of letting other people organise things, basically. Try not to be anal about people using your stuff. Like, it will happen that someone uses your bowl or your pan or whatever, and like it might not be washed up by the time you get back into the kitchen. I'm not even usually the person that will do this, but like I just don't see why people get so upset about it. Like, it's a bowl. Like, when you're 80, do you think you're going to like be on your deathbed and think like, oh well I had one regret, and then your grandchildren are like, yeah what's that grandma, and you're like, oh I should have never let Aaron use my crockery, and then you just like die. Like, that's not gonna happen. Just let people use your stuff, it's not a big deal. This sounds very childish. If you have a game that's like Cards Against Humanity or like beer pong or something like that, or like a drinking game, basically, you can get a lot of good ones at Tiger, but that's a really good icebreaker, so make sure you bring one of those. Also, literally pause this video right now, open your phone up, open up the App Store, type in the little search bar thing Uber, and just get Uber, sign up for it right now. Like, it's so much easier than regular taxis. It's a lot safer. If you say you leave your phone in it or something, then like it's a lot easier to trace back. It's like, even if something bad happened, like you've got the driver's like records all on the screen and stuff like that. And I know Uber's a very corrupt company, and like I'm not going to get into all of that, but like it's a lot, like it's a really good app. Like, most big cities will have loads of them. You have like a card registered with it, so you don't even need to pay cash. Like, it's just so much easier, and it'll help you out so much for like nights out and stuff like that. And I'm not even sponsored by them. I mean, like, I've literally just said that they're a corrupt company, so like I'm obviously not, but like yeah, like literally just download Uber. You can, I will put my code in the description, because oh my god, I'm so YouTubery, but no, I will put my code in the description, which will give you 10%, oh wait no, £10 off your first ride up to £20, oh wait no, yeah, £10 off your first ride, I think. But like, don't feel inclined to use that, because it would probably actually be easier if you and your flatmates all did like signed up together, because then you each get £10 off your first ride. And like, if I feel dishonest saying like, oh use my code, because I also get £10 off if you use my code. I mean, like, if you've not got anyone else's code to use, then use mine, but it might be easier if you just use your flatmates, because then you can all just like get free taxis for a week, basically. Right, the rest of my stuff's quite like generic and quite, and I think you'll hear in like any other kind of like uni tips video, which you're obviously searching if you've seen this. Like, basically just like, if anyone's pressuring you into doing anything, then they're not worth being friends with. If anyone makes you feel like you're less than them, or like you need to prove yourself to them, then they're not worth being friends with. And anyone that constantly belittles you or makes you feel really bad around other people, like, they aren't worth being friends with either. Like, just don't waste your time, they're not worth it. I can say this as a 2-time victim of alcohol poisoning myself. If you see someone that's too gone and like they just don't look well, just call them an ambulance. Like, they're not going to be angry. Do you think I like look back at these people that like called the EMTs when I was like being sick into my hair and like crying? Do you think I look back at them and think like, oh my god, why did they do that? They're so lame, haha. Like, no. Like, they're gonna thank you. Like, just do the right thing, call an ambulance, put them in the recovery position, learn the recovery position. That's helpful as well. Right, so this one's a lot more kind of serious and a lot more maybe sad. I always think like anything that involves feelings is sad though, so probably not. You might feel really, really anxious after your first week. You might feel like you want to go home. You might feel like you've made a big mistake. You might feel like you've tricked everyone and you're not actually clever enough to be at uni or anything like that. You might feel like your flatmates hate you, like when they literally don't. You might feel like you might be projecting a lot of homesickness into like other issues which will make you feel like you want to go home. If you do feel like that, I would say you should probably wait 6 or so weeks and just see how you feel, because moving away from home for the first time, I'm gonna be real, it is scary, and like you are gonna feel like you want to like just go back because it's the easier thing to do. But imagine if I'd have done that. Like, where would my skinny legends be? Like, I'd just be sat in my room probably doing this like 3 times a week, probably not even have any subscribers, probably be like not have told my friends that I was doing it because I'd be so embarrassed because I wouldn't have the confidence. Like, probably like literally just at home like crying all the time. Like, you don't want to go home basically if you're just feeling really anxious. Like, you need to wait until in fact I'd say maybe even wait until Christmas, because like it does take a really long time to settle in, and like it's hard, like especially if you've got existing sort of like issues with anxiety or anything like that. It's really hard, but you've already made like a massive achievement by going to uni, trying to get yourself together in that way. Like, why? Like, I understand if you really do hate it, decide after 6 weeks, but like it's like just don't let the kind of like anxious voice that you get that's telling you that like no one likes you and that you're like you should go home and like you should have never tried in the first place, just don't let that get to you, because it's not worth listening to. I think that's about everything. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope I didn't scare you. I literally gave you advice for like the worst hypothetical situation in which you get there and like you don't immediately hit it off with your flatmates. You probably will, to be fair, but like yeah, just I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you could take a lot from it. You might see Rebecca's video in a few weeks that's going to be about like how to save money at uni. You might not. I've not really spoken to her about it yet, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.